We have some huge Celtic news to discuss in today's video, as Brendan Rodgers has made an urgent plea. Not only that, we will also go over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours.
But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.
Kasper Schmeichel reminded Celtic fans exactly why he starts week in, week out for the club, with a truly world-class save in the first half of their Europa League opener against Red Star Belgrade. With the game finally poised at 0-0, Red Star's Bruno Duarte unleashed a thunderous strike from distance that looked destined for the top corner. The Serbian crowd were already celebrating when Schmeichel, at full stretch, produced an incredible fingertip save to push the ball onto the crossbar. It was a moment that summed up the Danes' vast experience and reflexes, keeping Celtic in the contest during a difficult spell. Joe Hart, on co-commentary for the match, was quick to praise his former Premier League rival. Brilliant save from Kasper Schmeichel. I thought it at the time, great reach, brilliant from the Dane. The 38-year-old has slotted seamlessly into life at Celtic Park after he arrived last season, bringing authority and composure between the posts. While much of the pre-match build-up focused on Celtic's attacking options, it was Schmeichel's intervention that proved crucial to preventing the hosts from taking the lead. Celtic went on to secure a 1-1 draw, with Kelechi Iheanacho's second-half finish cancelling out Marko Arnautovic's equaliser, but the moment of the night belonged to their new number one. In Europe, such moments can be the difference between progress and heartbreak, and Celtic's keeper delivered. Now, for the main story, as Brendan Rodgers has urged Celtic supporters to put frustrations aside and rally behind the team as they chase their first Europa League win of the season. The Parkhead boss knows tensions remain high following a turbulent summer and the recent protests aimed at the board, but he believes the backing of the fans could be decisive on European nights. Celtic earned a hard-fought point away to Red Star Belgrade in their opening group match, but Rodgers stressed the importance of turning Celtic Park into a fortress when Braga arrive in Glasgow next week. When asked if he hopes supporters will put their protests on hold, he said, "I really hope so. The lift the supporters will give in these European games will be absolutely critical. Our fan base can really push in this competition. I can't tell the supporters what to do and how to feel, but if they can really help us as a team, that would be amazing. We will really feel the benefit of a packed-out Celtic Park." Supporters have made their feelings clear in recent weeks, staging delayed entry protests at Rugby Park and at Firhill, and they have also displayed banners demanding changes at the boardroom level. But Rodgers hopes that once the action begins, the focus will shift to pushing the team over the line. Celtic have not won a European knockout tie since 2004, and the manager sees this season's Europa League as an opportunity to change that narrative. Unity, he insists, will be key to making progress. According to Opta Stats, Celtic have a 25% chance of reaching the quarter-finals of the competition. A draw isn't the worst start to the league phase, and Celtic can now kick on. In other news, Celtic could have a fresh injury concern after Cameron Carter-Vickers appeared to struggle during the second half of the 1-1 Europa League draw against Red Star Belgrade. The USA international has only recently returned to full fitness after undergoing tidy-up surgery in the summer following a campaign where he battled through persistent issues. That operation forced him to miss the start of pre-season, but the defender had looked to have put those problems behind him as he slotted back into Brendan Rodgers' side. However, there were signs of discomfort in Belgrade as Carter-Vickers laboured through the closing stages. Rodgers resisted the temptation to replace him, but it now leaves a question mark hanging over his availability in the coming weeks. Dane Murray has impressed when called upon, showing composure beyond his years, but losing Carter-Vickers would still be a huge blow given his importance at the heart of the defence. Celtic host Hibs at home this weekend, a game where Rodgers may feel Murray could handle the occasion, but sterner tests lie ahead. Braga arrive in Glasgow next Thursday, bringing serious attacking quality, while Motherwell's attacking start to the Premiership campaign makes their trip to Parkhead a dangerous assignment. Both matches are the type where Carter-Vickers' leadership and presence are invaluable. The upcoming international break could provide some much-needed respite, but much will depend on whether the Celtic vice-captain is carrying a knock or suffering a recurrence of last season's problems. In other news, Joe Hart has singled out teenage fullback Colby Donovan for special praise following Celtic's 1-1 draw with Red Star Belgrade in the Europa League. The former Celts goalkeeper was on co-commentary duties for the European clash and was impressed by the way Brendan Rodgers' side handled the hostile atmosphere at the Maracana. While Celtic were unable to claim all 3 points, Hart insisted there were plenty of positives, particularly Donovan's display on his first European start. It's been a good European performance without the noise of everything around Celtic, Hart said live in TNT. I think they'll be pleased. From a team point of view, I can only comment that Brendan Rodgers will be really pleased. Not quite dominating, but they've stood up in big moments. Defensively, looked strong. Iheanacho coming in and giving them that line up front, scoring an excellent goal and looking threatening. Young Colby Donovan put on a really good show. He's been brilliant. Those are the sort of things you want to focus on. Donovan, just 19, has been thrust into the first team amid injuries to Alistair Johnston and Anthony Ralston. Having already featured domestically, Rodgers trusted him to start in Serbia, and the youngster rose to the occasion with a composed and disciplined performance. Ralston was back in the squad last night, being named on the bench, while Alistair Johnston is still some way away. However, the Canadian has revealed that he is further ahead in his recovery than was expected of him. For Hart, who spent 3 years at Celtic before retiring last year, Donovan's emergence is an encouraging sign at a time when the club has been rocked by criticism of its summer recruitment. He's certainly battling with Ralston for his place, and on his current form, you can't justify dropping him. Lastly, Chris Sutton believes Celtic's 1-1 draw with Red Star Belgrade was a fair result, but insists Brendan Rodgers must rethink how he uses Dyson Maeda. The Hoops kicked off their Europa League campaign with a battling point in Serbia, thanks to Kelechi Iheanacho's second-half strike. The Nigerian came off the bench at half-time to replace Maeda, who endured a frustrating evening in a central role. Sutton took to social media to give his thoughts on the performance, praising Iheanacho's impact but expressing sympathy for Maeda. Draw about right, Celtic better with Iheanacho as centre-forward as they have a focal point and someone to play off. Need to utilise Maeda better. Donovan mature beyond his years. The former Celtic striker has long been an admirer of Maeda's tireless work rate, but he feels the Japanese forward is being misused by Rodgers, who continues to field him as a striker rather than in his more natural wide role. Maeda's replacement, Iheanacho, provided a more traditional presence through the middle, giving Celtic a stronger platform to build attacks and ultimately scoring the opener.
What do you think of what we discussed in today's video? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.